have obviously talked about a lot of different things on this channel, but one of my favorite stories that I've covered by far, and what I believe might be one of the most fascinating stories I've ever covered, has to be the story about the Titan submersible. The little rinky-dink submarine that imploded in the dark, deep depths of the ocean as it was exploring the wreckage of the Titanic. Remember that story? Remember the feeling that story gave you? As we sat here on the edge of our seats hoping that these people were still alive. And as the minutes and hours passed, more and more concerning information was coming to light. Like the submarine was not even built by the right materials. A lot of other submarine experts were saying that the guy who built this sub was crazy. We found out that the sub was literally controlled by a Walmart PlayStation remote. It was just all of this concerning information coming out. Meanwhile, we were led to believe that these people might still be alive in the submarine, trapped at the bottom of the ocean floor. Help was on the way. And I remember thinking that after this, after we sat here and watched a clock count down how many hours of oxygen they had left in the sub, I was thinking for sure, for a fact, this is going to kill the submarine tourist industry. After sitting here watching the news for 3 days and watching the hours and the minutes and the seconds go by and their oxygen run out, right? There was literally a live clock on every news channel showing how many hours of oxygen these people had left. Mind you, the submarine had already imploded, but we didn't know that at the time. So I was thinking that no one in their right mind who saw this story would hop on a submarine. Surely no one in their right mind would sit here and watch this countdown for 3 days and then think, hey, it's a good idea to go hop on a tourist submarine, right? I was thinking for sure, this whole industry is dead, but boy, oh boy, was I wrong. Not only are people still going on tourist subs, they're doing it more now than they were doing before. Now they got gigantic tourist subs where they're literally packing like 50 people on board these subs and they're going into the ocean. Now, mind you, they're not going as deep as this sub did, but it's still dangerous. The ocean is a dangerous place. And unfortunately, people had to find that out the hard way today because unfortunately, a submarine, a tourist sub at that, carrying 50 people on board, 5 crew members, 45 tourists, it crashed or something along those lines. It sunk. And now 6 people are dead. Fortunately, the good news is the rest of the people on board were rescued miraculously. But 6 people are dead now, including kids. Because apparently, when people saw that sub implode while looking at the Titanic wreckage, that did not send a strong enough message to them. So people are still paying good money to hop aboard submarines, and tragedies are constantly striking. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be that guy, but after what we saw with the Titan submersible, why? Why would you think, hey, let's go on a sub, dude? This is perfect. Let's take our kids on one. How about no? The ocean is beautiful. You know, I'm sure it's a great experience to be deep in the ocean exploring, but folks, it just doesn't seem to work out well. Okay? But now here we are, another tragedy, 6 people dead. Let's dive into this article. At least 6 dead after tourist submarine carrying about 45 passengers sinks off of Egypt's Red Sea coast. 6 tourists were killed, including 2 kids, and nearly 30 others injured when a tourist sub sank off of Egypt's Red Sea coast early Thursday. Some 45 tourists were on the sub, the Sinbad, when it sank around 10 a.m. during a 40-minute tour just off the shore of Hurghada, a popular resort destination known for its beaches and diving. The 6 killed were all Russian citizens, the provincial governor said, without naming them or giving ages for the 2 kids among the dead. The other 39 passengers were rescued, but 29 needed hospitalization for their injuries. Other passengers were tourists from India, Norway, and Sweden. 5 Egyptian crew members also survived. It was not immediately clear why the sub sank, given that there were no rough waters nor bad weather reported at the time. The sub can descend 82 feet, offering stunning views of coral reefs through its panoramic windows, according to the website for Sinbad Submarines. The sub has been in operation for several years, with the company boasting of owning 2 of just 14 recreational submarines in the world. Now, we do know that 2 of the people who died were married doctors from Russia. In fact, all of the 6 people who died are from Russia. The 2 daughters of the married couple who passed away, they remain in critical care in the hospital. The Red Sea governor, Amir Anarf, said passengers on the Sinbad were from Russia, India, Norway, and Sweden. Mr. Hanafi said the 6 who died were all Russian, but full details of the victims have not yet been released. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, but the Association of Tour Operators of Russia cited in a Telegram post unconfirmed reports that the submarine hit a reef and lost pressure while at a depth of about 20 meters, 65 feet. The city of Hurghada is located to the southeast of Cairo, a tourist destination which is known for both its beaches and coral reefs. Dr. James Aldridge from Bristol took the same trip on the submarine in February 2025. He said the sub was well maintained and was shown in the promotional photos. Fresh paint, modern equipment, and with attentive and professional English-speaking staff, including 2 divers to accompany you down. He explained that passengers listened to a safety briefing, which had been recorded in multiple languages, and said that life jackets were not issued. He toured the reef for 40 minutes. For the first 20, I was facing the reef. The sub never strayed too close, and I never felt unsafe. For the return trip, I was facing the ocean, he added. Now, a lot of the stories that I cover can be frightening. They can be extremely uncomfortable. Because a lot of the stories I cover, it's a situation where it's like, hey, that could have happened to me. This could happen to me. This could happen to you. This could happen to anyone, right? But when it comes to these stories involving these submarines, that fear, at least for me, is not there. Don't get me wrong. Being trapped in a sinking submarine is like the scariest possible thing I can think of, okay? But I don't have a fear of like, oh, that could happen to me. Because I know damn good and well, you're not going to catch my big ass on a submarine, period. Point blank, period. You will never find me on a submarine. Now, for one, I don't got the kind of money to even be doing this stuff, all right? I don't got the kind of money to say, hey, you know what, hun? Let's go explore the Titanic wreckage. Or you know what? Let's go to Egypt and explore the coral reefs on this gigantic tourist sub. I ain't got that kind of money anyway. So I ain't even got to worry about this stuff. I'm not in the right tax bracket to worry about this stuff or to be scared of these things. But even if I did have all the money in the world, I would not do this. Someone could approach me directly after making this video and say, hey, you could get a free round trip to Egypt and go on their little tourist submarine, and I would still decline. I'm not hopping on anything that goes deep into the ocean. I'm okay. The ocean is beautiful. The coral reefs are awesome. I like fish just as much as the next guy, but I don't like them that much. I don't like them that much. As beautiful as the coral reefs probably are, they're not that beautiful for me to risk drowning at the bottom of the ocean amongst a bunch of strangers packed in a sardine can. I am good. The very fact that y'all have 45 people on this submarine is scary enough in itself. That's a lot of people to be packing on this submarine, if you ask me. Now, like I said, this sub obviously goes nowhere near as deep as the Titan sub that we talked about in that story a couple of years ago. But still, nevertheless, it's like, hey guys, when are people going to learn to stop playing with the ocean? Stop playing with the ocean, folks. I mean, it's bad enough that we have crazy stories involving boats every other day. Now we got these subs. Now we got to deal with subs crashing. Like, can we just have the airplane crashes? Was that not good enough for people? Do you guys not have enough airplane crashes? You got to have submarine crashes now too? So, in the midst of, oh my God, it's so beautiful to see the coral reefs. They crashed into one of them, it looks like. Lord knows what damage they did to the ecosystem. And now we got 6 people dead. And I don't really want to think about it too deeply, honestly. But how do you rescue all of these other people, but these 6 people died? Were parts of the submarine, like, fully underwater and other parts weren't? Was there fighting aboard the submarine? Or people pushing people to the parts that were filling up with water, fighting to cram into this part, and 6 people couldn't fit? Were rescue teams just rescuing people, urgently rescuing people, but they couldn't get to the last 6 people in time, so they drowned? I'm really interested in knowing the dynamic aboard the submarine. How did 6 people lose their lives, but like 40-something or 44 other people made it out, some unharmed, some injured. But how did the 44 other people make it out? What happened to these 6 people? That's what I would be interested in hearing. Because I can guarantee you there was panic aboard that submarine. And there may have been some pushing, some shoving. Kind of like the Titanic movie. When shit hits the fan, it hits the fan, okay? So I'm wondering what the dynamic was. I can imagine it was a complete nightmare. But I don't even really want to think about that stuff. But that's the type of stuff we have to think about because, unfortunately, going to Egypt wasn't good enough. Going to the markets, going to see the pyramids, it's not good enough. People have to put their life in danger. Like, that's what people's ideal vacation is these days. How can we go put our life on danger in various places on Earth? But anyways, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I'm starting to feel claustrophobic just talking about this. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you would like to support the channel even further, you could always drop a super thanks or hit me up on Cash App. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.